first one against Plymouth Whitemarsh, another tough team. Team we saw Norristown beat by 30 early on in the season. Of course, early on in the season is a lot different, as this Norristown team was having some problems early on in the season, and now they're to the point where they want to be.
Norristown inbound.
Coming to inbound in front of us is Melinda Fife, newest member of the 1,000-point club. 5 on the floor for Norristown are Fife, Halsey, Moore, Marshall, and Sims. Halsey drives inside. She was stripped on her way, and the ball's going to Norristown.
Trivia question would be, who was the last 1,000-point scorer on the female side?
Oh, I should probably know this. My logical guess would probably be Melissa Kelly.
Nice. Melissa came up short. Obviously was injured about 15 games of her senior year, and ended up being like 50 points or something like that short. I'm not sure I have the answer, but I think it was Melissa Floyd.
That was before my years. I can't even remember that, but I'm sure we have a couple of viewers out there who probably remember her.
I can't remember, so we'll have to come up with that answer.
That's something we'll look back to you later on in this game, see if you can get that for us. Moreau now shoots a 3, no good. She gets her own rebound, drives to the basket, no good. Hatboro Horsham dominating on the offensive glass right now. And with Tamisha Johnson out of this ball game, Norristown's got to try and play a little bit bigger inside. Inbounds goes to Julie Burns. She'll swing across to Jen Northcott. Maroon on the ball fake. Goes to the basket. Good. Heather Maroon, a good strong drive right there. 4 for her tonight, and Hatboro Horsham back within 2. Fife on the drive, beats Sims. Sims goes baseline, goes inside to Danielle Marshall. She's inside with the towers, and she's going to get called for a travel. Good defense by Hatboro Horsham to collapse on Danielle Marshall right there. And now Norristown into their full court press. Long, wild pass from Julie Burns. Still gets into the hands of the player right there. Northcott pulls up from the foul line, no good. Crashing the boards is Kelly Conlon, and she's going to get called for a foul. She came and absolutely knocked over Sasha Sims. So we want to thank Mr. Dennis Flynn for joining us tonight. Thank you.
It was my pleasure, and we're going to check on that 1,000-point answer there.
I appreciate it. So once again, athletic trainer Dennis Flynn joining us for the first quarter of this basketball game. And now I'm flying solo once again with 6:51 left in the second quarter. 10-8 is the score. Checking in for Hatboro Horsham is number 30, Becky Luskin. And checking in for Norristown for the first time, number 44, Erica Deaver, and Sasha Sims will take her first break. Halsey drives to the basket, blocked by Jen Northcott, but we apparently have a foul inside.
Foul Northcott, first, team 4.
Tamara Halsey to the line to shoot 2 now. 4 fouls in the half for Hatboro Horsham. Halsey makes her first one. Halsey 1 of 2. Now Julie Burns will push up the floor. Becky Luskin on the swing to Northcott for 6-1 is an advantage, but Danielle Marshall rips it down somehow. She pulls up and took a couple more steps than she wanted to. Another turnover on the Norristown offensive end. And really Norristown needing somebody to take over this game right now, needing a player to maybe string 6 or 7 points together. Becky Luskin now on the drive on Deaver. Tie up right there. Off the hands to Deaver, going back to Norristown. Northcott feeds out to Luskin and into the hands of Julie Burns. Rachel Myers on the spin move, tries to get away from Marshall. Nobody's been able to do that real easily this year. Burns double teamed quickly. Pass blocked by Leanne Moore. Northcott doing a nice job of shielding the basketball right there. Too much action right in front of me tonight. I'm starting to get frightened over here. Keep the action on the court and leave me out of it. Fife picked the pocket of Burns right there. Fife looking to push. She lost her dribble. Deaver now on the jumper. Won't go. Leanne Moore battling inside. Pulls it down. Feeds underneath. Fife. No look to Halsey. Good. Great feed right there by Melinda Fife. Good job by Moore to start it. And Tamara Halsey now with 3 points. A little bit of excitement from the Lady Eagles, and they are up by 5. Rachel Myers now feeds Julie Burns. Luskin not looking too confident with the ball right now. Myers trapped, gets into the hands of Becky Luskin, but Happer Horsham really being forced out. Somehow she gets into the hands of Marone. Jumper no good. Julie Burns on the drive. Don't know exactly where Julie Burns was going with that. And now Sasha Sims will check into the game. She will spell Tamara Halsey. Pepper Horsham into a 3-2 zone right now. Now they'll go back in the man-to-man. Marshall on the jumper. No good. Moore on the rebound. No good. She had her shot partially blocked inside. Pepper Horsham doing a nice job of staying with this Lady Eagles team right now, really not letting them get out into a huge lead. Marshall puts it in the hands of Sims. She'll feed to Fife. Fife was held on her way to the basket. That one's going to be on Becky Luskin. For Luskin, her first of the night. Into the hands of Sasha Sims. Sims for 3. Forced up a 3 and got it to go off the glass. Sasha Sims hitting 4 3-pointers in Norristown's last game. And trying to get some of that magic back. So now Norristown after their biggest lead, 8 points. Swing to Rachel Myers. Myers throws up a shot, and she was fouled on her way to the basket. Norristown's got to be happy with 3:39 left in this half. Still keeping Happer Horsham in single digits. You always talk about how tough it is to stop an offense, but sometimes it can be even more frustrating to score against a great defense. That's what Norristown has. Myers good on the first one. We will see Jen Clark for the first time tonight, and she'll come in for Leanne Moore. Two of 2 for Rachel Myers, her first 2 of the night. 2 substitutions coming into the game. First one is number 10, Kelly Gould. Second one is Kelly Conlon. And like we said, coming in the game for Norristown is Jen Clark, number 40. So Norristown's version of the Twin Towers, Moore and Johnson getting a break. Sims for 3, can't get it to go. Rebound Jen Northcott. Battle of the Jens inside, and Northcott won that one. Kelly Conlon, she'll swing it to Gould. Megan Gould being guarded closely by Marshall. Norristown very active on defense right now. Gould's jumper, good. Megan Gould, her first 2 of the night. Halsey swings it to Sims. Fife for 3, no good. Halsey trying to bust through, and somehow that went off the hands of Jen Northcott. No, we're gonna have that call overruled right there by official Pat Storty. No argument over on the far sideline. Burns on the drive. We're going to push off as she drove to the basket. Maybe on Fife. Yeah, that one's going to be on Fife. Norristown's 7th foul of the half.
For second, team second. 7.
That was Fife's 2nd of the night. And we'll be in the 1-and-1. Burns makes her first.
First at 1-1.
Hatboro Horsham within 3 points now. One of two, but the rebound goes to Kelly Conlon. Scramble on the floor. Fife gets it in the hands of Sims, and she'll push up the floor. Inside to Marshall. Marshall's off glass, can't get it to go. Kelly Conlon gets a rebound. So the Eagles having problems converting. This was an issue for them last game. Also having that same problem tonight. Burns on the drive, wild shot. Jen Clark's gonna get called for a foul. Team 8th of the night. And once again, Julie Burns will go to the line for the 1-and-1. Lady Eagles allowing Julie Burns to drive inside for the last 2 minutes, get penetration, something that they have to start to deny. If Burns gets inside, you would figure that she'd like to try and dish off maybe to Northcott, maybe even take it to the basket, as we've seen her try and do a couple of times. But really taking over at that point guard position down in the offensive end. 0 of 2 for her, however, from the line. Now Tamara Halsey will drive. Feeds to Sims. Sims, the short little jumper. Can't get it to go. Danielle Marshall a little bit over the back. Ball went off of her hands and will go to Hatboro Horsham. Substitution coming in the game, Rachel Myers, and Becky Luskin will take a seat. Inside to Northcott. Throws up a wild jumper, draws a little bit of glass, but not much. Marshall triple teamed, and she traveled with the basketball right in front of us. Daniel Marshall was being triple teamed and just couldn't get rid of it before she walked with the basketball. With 1:38 left in this half, Hatboro Horsham still down by 3. Got to be where they want to be, closing this game within striking distance, and the ability to make a little bit of a run in the 3rd quarter, maybe. Northcott on the dribble, fed it to Myers, but went straight through her hands. Now we'll feed to Halsey. Halsey will push up the floor, puts up a layup, and it's good. Tamara Halsey went coast to coast with that one. 5 points for her tonight, and the first field goal we've seen in the last 2 minutes of this basketball game. Norristown back out to a 5-point lead with a minute left in the half. Megan Gould now with the basketball into the hands of Rachel Myers. Ball not touching the floor right now. Hatboro Horsham very patient, but now Burns will try and force inside. Feed to Conlon going baseline. Conlon was stripped. Myers inbounding to our left. Great feed to Jen Northcott. Northcott gets the roll. A well-designed inbounds play right there for Hatboro Horsham, beating Jen Northcott on the baseline. She likes to stick that jumper from the right baseline, about a 6-7 foot jumper. Now Melinda Fife will hold for the last one. And now they will run down. Coach Jackson likes to run it down to about 6 or 7 seconds before running that play. And now Fife's got to run it. Fife on the drive, and she was held by Julie Burns as she drove inside. Hatboro Horsham with a foul to give, not a problem right there.
Foul Burns, the first team safety.
Smart basketball by the Hatters, knowing they had that foul to give and good recognition. Inbounds to Halsey, feeds to Sims. Sims, jumper, no good at the buzzer. So at the end of one half of basketball, Coach Dennis Steinley's got to be happy with his Hatboro Horsham team. They are down by 3. Lady Eagles only scoring 18 in this first half, a little bit under their average. They average about 26, 27. at the end of one half of basketball, 18-15. We'll be back in a moment. Bring you second half action from Norristown Area High School. Welcome back to Norristown Area High School. The score at halftime is 18-15. The Lady Eagles up by 3 points on the Lady Hatters. We had an interesting first half of basketball, which saw Melinda Fife earn her 1,000th point in her basketball career. Congratulations to her once again. But also which saw a sloppy performance by both teams. Really, any team's game right now, whoever wants it more coming out in this third quarter, we would imagine it would be the Lady Eagles, but we will see. Let's run down the scoring for you tonight. Leading scorer for Norristown with 6 is Leanne Moore.